It's time. It's time to show some love to KFC once again. So hello guys, welcome back to another video. As always, before we get into things, do me a massive favor, hit that thumbs up button. It really does help me out and it shows your appreciation. Now, let's get straight into the video. So yes, it's time to work on Project KFC once more. Now then, what are we going to be doing? We're hopefully going to be tackling a bit of an oil leak issue that I've been having for, the past year or so now. And I just want to start off by saying it's not a huge oil leak. I haven't noticed my oil level dropping much. It's more just a few drops here and there in the driveway. Now, when it comes to these N47 engines, there's pretty much only 2 or 3 main oil leak areas, one of which is the oil filter housing gasket. That likes to leak after around 100,000 miles or so. We've already tackled that on this car, so I'm confident that isn't the cause of our problem. The next major oil leak area on these engines is the rocker cover. So if we remove the main engine cover and have a look, pretty much all the way around the rocker cover is a bit wet. And so I think that oil is originating from the top of the engine, leaking through the rocker cover gasket, leaking down onto the exhaust manifold, and then does occasionally cause some oil burning smells in the cabin. And this is very consistent of a rocker cover gasket leak. So I'm 99% sure the rocker cover is our issue. Now the gasket itself, in theory, should have been replaced. I mean, the car is on, I think, 219,000 miles. It has had a timing chain once in its life. When you are doing the timing chain, you have to remove the rocker cover. If you are removing the rocker cover, of course, you're going to at least swap out the gasket. Now, whenever I am tackling a rocker cover gasket leak, I always opt to swap out the entire rocker cover. Right here, I have a Febby Bilstein rocker cover, brand new, and should be just as good as the factory one. Now, on a new rocker cover, obviously you have the gasket with it, but you also have a new integrated crankcase breather as well. And if this has failed, if the diaphragm has torn on it, it will be letting a lot of oil through your crankcase breather, and that will then go through your entire air intake system. So again, at this sort of mileage, if your rocker cover hasn't been replaced, it's well worth replacing it just to swap out this crankcase breather. So I think swapping out this entire rocker cover is going to help us tremendously. Right then, let's get straight to it. Just quickly, if you do want to get one of these Febby Bilstein rocker covers, I will leave a link in the description for you to get yourself one. Let's go. Right then, so for starters, we need to get access to the top of the engine itself. So we need to get all this cowling out of the way. It should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 8mm hex head screws. And we can lift up these covers at the side as well, just held in by a couple of clips. And it should reveal 2 more 8mm hex head screws, one there and one just there. Probably a good idea to get these sensors disconnected first though. And there's 2. And then if you still have this wiring harness still intact, I think 2 of my clips are broken, one is still intact, so I'll just release that, like so. And then this should all just lift out. If you haven't already done so, not a bad idea to disconnect the battery, just because we are going to have to remove the main positive cable and you don't want that shorting out on anything. Next thing I'm going to do though is just remove these strut brace bars here, just held in by 1, 2 and then should be 3 E14 bolts. Third one's just behind that cover there. I tell a lie, the one in the middle, that's slightly bigger, that's an E18 bolt. Obviously all this depends on which model you're working on. This is an E90, E91 chassis. So yeah, pretty much the steps to get to the rocker cover itself is gonna basically depend on which model of BMW you have. Those 3 bolts removed, this should just slide out. And now I can pop off these 2 plastic rivets on this insulation cover. It should slide out. And then this cable branch, I want to get that lifted over to one side. So we have this vacuum hose here, it should disconnect. There we are. And then we have the main positive cable, 13mm nut. I do remember now, this positive cable is joined. Thought it was 2 separate cables. I'm going to disconnect it from the alternator. And then I'll have to open this up. The positive cable will go that way, and this vacuum hose here, that will go this way. That can go over there, and this can all just spin and be tucked over there. Now we can lift this bit of sound deadening off as well, and now we can basically just work on unbolting anything that is directly connected to the rocker cover itself. So we have this crankcase vapor hose that needs to be disconnected. We have, of course, all the wiring looms that are connected to it. Okay, so as you can see, have all of the wiring over to one side. Pretty much now all that's left to disconnect is the fuel system. So we have the main fuel line, which goes from the high pressure fuel pump to the fuel rail. Just get a 19mm wrench or spanner on there. And again, with the injectors as well, just a 19mm. Crack all them loose. The fuel rail and all the fuel pipes will then come off. And then we have the return pipe as well. Just pop these clips off and these just pull out the top of the injectors. We can also get this fuel pipe off as well. And then finally, of course, just remove the injector and we should be able to then get onto all of the rocker cover bolts then. This fuel rail should just lift out now. Yep. So, as you can pretty much see, managed to get all of the fuel system disconnected. Injectors didn't actually come out that bad. So, yeah, I was pretty worried because I don't have a slide hammer which fits these style injectors. I only have the ones with the threaded part on top, so the fact that they came out with a bit of gentle persuasion, but it's only an aluminium hammer, just kind of tapped them back and forth. Once I had some movement, I then could wiggle them out. I think it helps because these have definitely been out before. Like I said, the engine has had a timing chain at some point in its life, so definitely would have been removed before. Right then, I think just a couple more things to remove from the rocker cover, which we need to transfer on to the new one, is the oil filler cap, just held in by a, what's that, an E6 bolt or E6 screw, and also the camshaft position sensor as well, again just an E6 screw. I'll get both those removed, get them off, and then it should just be all of the E10 bolts then holding the rocker cover in place. camshaft position sensor removed, and this should lift off as well. It should just turn and lift up. Yeah. Now, like I said, we should be able to get on all of the rocker cover bolts. Shouldn't be very tight. Should only be like 10 Newton meters. That should be all of the bolts loose now. Don't think I've missed any. Well, they're definitely loose. Well, it's definitely loose, isn't it? Let's just feed it underneath this fuel pipe here, and then off. That's the original rocker cover removed. Yeah, the gasket is rock hard. It's like plastic. Yeah, it's all cracking. The gasket, definitely no good. I think it is the original rocker cover as well. Let's just spend a little bit of time inspecting the top of the engine. It is quite black in here. I mean, there is a bit of sludge build up. It's not terrible though. I mean, I've definitely seen like way worse than this. Can't see any scoring on any of the cam lobes. They all look good. Let's check the timing chain. Yeah, that still feels tight. There's no slack in that. Like I said, previous owner did say it had been replaced. So yeah, all looks pretty good, to be honest. Well, I mean, especially for what, 219,000 miles anyway. Definitely can't complain with that. I'm just going to spend some time now, get all of the gasket mating surfaces nice and clean. Don't forget the ones in the middle as well, where the injectors sit. Get all that nice and clean, and then of course we can get the new rocker cover installed then. And with the gasket mating surfaces all now nice and clean, ready for the new rocker cover to go on. Again, just be careful installing it. Make sure there's no wires or anything pinched between the rocker cover and the cylinder head. Make sure all of the bolt holes are lining up. Of course, make sure your gasket is in place, which I already checked it is. And now we can just begin tightening down all of the bolts. So I've tightened down all of the bolts, just hand tight. And now what I'm going to do is torque them all down to 10 Newton meters. You want to start in the center and spiral outwards, just so that it torques down evenly and doesn't potentially warp or crack the cover. So I'm going to get all these torqued down to 10 Newton meters, and then I can begin building everything back up. And now with all of the rocker cover bolts now torqued down to 10 Newton meters, just a case of reinstalling everything. I've already put the oil filter cap back, that small screw there, and the camshaft position sensor, that's back in as well. But yeah, the injectors, fuel rail, all the electrical connectors, that can all go back in place. And then we, of course, want to fire this engine up and make sure that we don't have any leaks. Okay, so as you can see, everything is all now back together, and we should be able to start it. I want to start it up before I put all of the engine covers and scuttle panel back, just to make sure we don't have any leaks. What I'm doing is I'm just running a fuel system bleed, because we've had the injectors out, we've had the fuel rail off, all the fuel pipes removed. There will be a lot of air in the fuel system now. And to save cranking for, you know, a good couple of minutes, save the starter motor, save the high pressure fuel pump from running dry, just do this test, and then yeah, we should be ready to fire up. And fingers crossed, we don't have any leaks on this engine then. So I've done the bleeding of the fuel system. All we need to do now is fire it up. Like I said, hope we don't have any oil leaks. Finally fired up. Let's check for any leaks. Rocker cover looks bone dry. All this was just covered in oil before. Looks nice and shiny still. Can't see any leaks of any kind on the top. And just like that, everything is all now back together. And like I said, fingers crossed, no more leaks on this N47 engine. Well then, there we go, another job done on Project KFC. We are running out of things to do on this car. There is still a few small little jobs that I need to do. It's lacking air conditioning currently. Need to give it a bit of a service because I am planning on taking this car on a bit of a road trip this summer through Europe. So I need it to be as reliable as possible, and of course air conditioning, that would be nice. But yeah, for those that know this car, for those that know me, this car has basically just been used as a daily driver. It covers a whole bunch of miles every single year, and it's a bit of a workhorse. I don't need it to be looking particularly spectacular. I just need it to be reliable, running, efficient, and yeah, it seems to do the job quite nicely. But hopefully this video has been helpful. If you are suffering with an oil leak, or maybe you have a burning oil smell in your cabin, chances are it's your rocker cover gasket. So get that swapped out, replace the entire rocker cover, because last thing you want to do is replace the gasket and then find out it's leaking still, and then you have to do the whole job again anyway. It's not that bad of a job, but it's not really something you want to be doing twice if you don't need to. Like I said, hopefully this video has been helpful. Remember to give it a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you have not already done so. I'll see you all very, very soon in that next one.